I'd like to just speak off the cuff for a second. Hopefully this doesn't count towards my time that Lindsay allowed me. When we planned this, the big thing was our friends. I don't get out much, and nor does Linda, to see our friends. We're delusional enough to think we have a lot of them. And the turnout tonight was amazing, and I just want to thank everybody here for taking the time to come, and particularly on such a nice day. So on behalf of both the Deckert and the Lowe families, I would like to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us during this time of celebration. It is very gratifying indeed that so many family members and friends have chosen to spend their Saturday with us to witness the union of Lindsay and Mark. I have no doubt that when planning our wedding, the thing that concerned my daughter the most was allowing me to speak. Fearful that by the time I finish, no one will be left in the room to enjoy the slideshow and the dancing that follows. Lindsay has limited me to a number of minutes I can talk, assuring me that if I exceeded the allotted time, she would have them play music like they do at the Oscars. I shall try to be compliant, for Lindsay's sake, if not yours. I've been to a number of weddings over the years, and I've always wondered what it would be like to walk my daughter down the aisle. Now I know. For those of you who haven't made the trip as yet, I can assure you it is an unforgettable experience. I thought tonight I'd try to describe to you the thoughts and emotions I had as I made my way down the aisle as to what one patient affectionately called the walk. Seeing my daughter in a wedding dress for the first time, I immediately began fighting back the tears, not wanting to present as a blubbering idiot when walking down the aisle. Fortunately, once we joined arms and the music started to play, my sentimentality turned to fear as I concentrated on my steps, intent on keeping the proper cadence we had practiced the night before. After a few steps, I gained confidence and turned my attention to more personal concerns, like whether or not I had evenly applied my Just for Men the night before, or whether I had properly executed my comb-over earlier in the day. However, I soon realized that not one pair of eyes in the church was looking at me, which, while it bloated my ego, allowed me to relax more and appreciate the crowd. As I looked around, I recognized a number of familiar faces sitting in the audience. Some represented lifelong friendships, in one case beginning during infancy as our fathers were best friends. Another friendship dated back to early childhood when I didn't know any better. While the former may have lost a step or two on the playing field, and the latter may have gone up a crest size or two since elementary school days, obviously it didn't use Nair on his life. They both remain close friends to this day, at least until now. As I continued to survey the crowd, I saw other longtime friends in attendance as well. Some whose hair had changed in color over the years, or in this case, simply left. Their presence at this special occasion means a lot to me as well. Overwhelmed with a sense of nostalgia, I diverted my attention away from the audience and back to the front of the church, where my eyes fixated on my future son-in-law. I couldn't help but feel a sense of irony as I thought about the first time our paths had crossed, or should I say my path crossed him. It happened early one Sunday morning at my house as I was walking to the kitchen to get something to drink. I saw this body lying in the middle of the dining room floor. Unsure whether or not it was dead or alive, I gingerly stepped over it. Little did I know at the time what I was stepping over would someday be family. Mark was one of Matthew's friends who had made the trip down play in the annual John Prohaska Memorial Golf Tournament. After a night of revelry at the 4th Avenue Bar and Grill, he and a number of his contemporaries lay strewn throughout our house resembling a scene from MASH. Hardly the bachelor pool from which any father would hope his only daughter. Differentiated Mark from the others. Maybe it was the fact that he could speak in complete sentences before Maybe it was the nice car he drove, the fancy watch he was wearing and later pretended to lose so he to have an excuse to come back and see Lindsay once again. Obviously his plan worked. I knew the relationship was serious after Lindsay said they had broken up and Mark still showed up at her house on Christmas Eve. Since he had no presents for Linda or me, I had to assume he was there to see our daughter. A couple of Christmases have since passed, with some things remaining the same while others have changed. Mark still doesn't bring Linda or me a gift.